The scent of lavender and thyme hung heavy in the air, a fragrant reminder of the simple joys that life in the monastery offered. Each morning, the garden was a symphony of scents, a testament to the care and devotion poured into it by the nuns. The herbs, with their delicate leaves and vibrant colors, were more than just plants. They were symbols of the tranquility that Charlotte had sought for so long. Sunlight streamed through the stained glass window, painting the stone floor in a kaleidoscope of colors. The interplay of light and shadow created a serene atmosphere, a sanctuary within a sanctuary. Each ray of light seemed to carry a whisper of peace, a promise of solace to those who sought refuge within these hallowed walls.
Charlotte Stevens, her silver hair framing a face etched with time, knelt in prayer. Her eyes, though weary, held a quiet strength, a testament to the resilience that had carried her through life's trials. Each prayer was a conversation with the divine, a moment of connection that grounded her in the present and offered hope for the future. The monastery, St. Benedict's, had been her sanctuary for 20 years. Nestled amidst the rolling hills of Tuscany, it was a place where time seemed to stand still. The ancient stone walls, weathered by centuries, held stories of countless souls who had sought peace within its embrace. For Charlotte, it was a haven, a place where she could leave the world behind and find solace in the rhythm of monastic life. Here, amidst the rolling hills of Tuscany, she found solace, she found peace. The landscape, with its gentle slopes and verdant fields, was a balm for her soul. Each day, as she walked through the gardens, she felt a deep connection to the earth, a sense of belonging that had eluded her for so long.
I traded my scalpel for shears, a decision that marked a profound shift in my life. The precision and skill that once saved lives in the operating room were now channeled into nurturing the delicate plants that thrived in the monastery's garden. My white coat for the simple robes of a Benedictine nun. The transformation was more than just physical. It was a journey of the soul. The habit, with its unadorned simplicity, was a constant reminder of the vows I had taken, the commitment to a life of humility and service. Days were spent tending the gardens, each moment a meditation in motion. The act of planting, watering, and pruning became a form of prayer, a way to connect with the divine through the beauty of creation. My hands now coaxing life from the earth instead of healing the human body. The soil, rich and fertile, responded to my touch, yielding a bountiful harvest that nourished both body and spirit. Nights were filled with prayer and quiet reflection. The stillness of the evening, punctuated by the soft flicker of candlelight, provided a space for introspection and communion with the divine. Each prayer was a thread in the tapestry of my spiritual journey, weaving together moments of joy, sorrow, and hope.
The past, with its haunting memories, seemed a world away, yet in the quiet moments it would resurface, a reminder of the life I had left behind. The photographs, sepia-toned and worn with age, were windows into a time that felt both distant and achingly close. Yet some wounds run too deep to heal. The pain, though dulled by time, remained a constant presence, a shadow that lingered at the edges of my consciousness. Each memory was a reminder of the choices I had made, the paths not taken. They linger beneath the surface, a constant ache in the heart. The heartache, though hidden from the world, was a part of me, a testament to the love and loss that had shaped my journey. Charlotte carried such a wound, a secret that had driven her to this isolated corner of the world. The solitude of the monastery provided a refuge, a place where she could confront her pain without the distractions of the outside world. A secret she thought buried forever. The diary, with its pages filled with confessions and regrets, was a testament to the life she had left behind. Each entry was a step on the path to healing, a way to make peace with the past.
One crisp autumn afternoon, a letter arrived, its arrival heralded by the rustle of leaves and the chill in the air. The envelope, with its elegant script and wax seal, was a stark contrast to the simplicity of monastic life, shattering the tranquility of my world. The words, though carefully chosen, were a jolt to my senses, a reminder that the past was never truly gone. The letter, with its revelations, threatened to unravel the peace I had worked so hard to achieve. It bore the crest of the Winconshire estate, a name that sent shivers down my spine. The estate, with its grandeur and history, was a symbol of a life I had left behind, a world of privilege and expectation that I had chosen to forsake. The past, it seemed, had finally come calling. The photograph, with its faded edges and familiar faces, was a reminder of the ties that bound me to a world I had tried to forget. The letter was a summons, a call to confront the ghosts of my past and find a way to reconcile them with the life I had chosen. 20 years ago, I was a rising star in the medical field. Fresh out of medical school, I was filled with dreams and aspirations, eager to make a difference in the world. My mentors saw potential in me, and I was often the youngest in the room at prestigious medical conferences. Ambitious and driven, I dedicated my life to my patients at the prestigious London hospital. Every day was a new challenge, a new opportunity to learn and grow. I thrived in the fast-paced environment, where every second counted and every decision could mean the difference between life and death. My days were long, my nights even longer. I often found myself working late into the night, reviewing patient charts and preparing for the next day's surgeries. The hospital became my second home and my colleagues my second family. But I thrived on the challenge, finding satisfaction in healing the sick and mending broken bodies. Each successful surgery, each grateful smile from a patient reaffirmed my purpose and fueled my passion. I felt invincible, as if I could conquer any obstacle that came my way.
Then came the night that changed everything. It was a night like any other, or so it seemed. The sky was clear, the stars twinkling brightly, oblivious to the turmoil that was about to unfold. A night etched in her memory with terrifying clarity. The events of that night played out like a nightmare, one that she could never wake up from. The fear in her eyes, the desperation in her voice, it all came rushing back in vivid detail. A desperate patient, a risky procedure, a tragic outcome. The patient was a young mother clinging to life, her family waiting anxiously outside. The procedure was complex, fraught with risks, but I believed I could save her. I had to save her. The details were a blur, but the guilt, the crushing weight of responsibility remained. The surgery didn't go as planned. Complications arose, and despite my best efforts, I couldn't save her. The loss was devastating, a blow to my confidence and my soul.
The medical board cleared me of any wrongdoing. They reviewed the case, examined every detail, and concluded that I had done everything within my power. It was a small consolation, a technicality that did little to ease my conscience. But I couldn't forgive myself. The image of her lifeless body, the grief of her family, it haunted me day and night. I questioned my abilities, my decisions, and my very purpose as a doctor. The face of my patient, a young mother, haunted my dreams. Her eyes, once full of hope and life, now stared back at me, accusing and unforgiving. I couldn't escape her, no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't bear to set foot in an operating room, couldn't bear the thought of holding a scalpel again. So, I fled. I left behind the career I had worked so hard to build, the colleagues who had become my friends, and the city that had been my home. I sought refuge in the anonymity of the Benedictine order, hoping to find atonement for my perceived sins. The monastery was a world away from the bustling hospital, a place of silence and reflection. Here I hoped to find peace, to heal the wounds that no medicine could touch. I sought to bury the ambitious doctor, the woman I once was, beneath a lifetime of prayer and penance. The days were long, filled with rituals and routines, but the nights were the hardest. In the quiet darkness, the shadows of the past loomed large, and the memories I tried to escape found me once more. The letter from the Winconshire estate was brief, formal, almost clinical. It was signed by Jade Ethan Winconshire, the patriarch of the family. He requested my presence at his estate, citing a matter of utmost urgency and confidentiality.
Charlotte stared at the letter, her heart pounding in her chest. The Winconshires were a prominent family, their names synonymous with wealth and influence. She had never met any of them, never even set foot in their world.
Why would Jade Winconshire, a man I'd never met, summon me to his estate?
A knot of dread tightened in her stomach. Intuition whispered that this letter, this summons, was somehow connected to the past she had tried so hard to outrun. The past she had buried deep within the walls of St. Benedict's.
Leaving the tranquility of the monastery was harder than I imagined. The outside world, with its noise and chaos, felt jarring after years of peaceful seclusion. The journey to the Winconshire estate was a blur of train rides and taxicabs, each mile amplifying the anxiety gnawing at my insides. The estate itself was imposing, a sprawling manor house surrounded by acres of manicured lawns and ancient forests. As the taxi rolled up the long drive, I felt a sense of foreboding settle over me. The house loomed large, its stone facade cold and unwelcoming. Stepping out of the taxi, I took a deep breath, the crisp autumn air doing little to calm my nerves. As I walked towards the house, each step felt heavy, weighted down by the secrets of the past and the uncertainty of the future.
Section 5. Unveiling a shocking truth. This is where the story takes a turn that no one could have anticipated. Charlotte, it's good to see you. Please come in. It's been far too long since we'd last met.
Jade Winconshire, a man in his late 70s, greeted Charlotte with a warmth that belied his austere surroundings. His eyes, though aged, sparkled with a hint of something deeper, something unsaid. He led her into a grand study, the walls lined with bookshelves that reached the high ceiling. The room was filled with an air of history and secrets, each book a silent witness to the past. But it was his next words that shattered Charlotte's composure, sending shockwaves through her very core. She had come seeking answers, but nothing could have prepared her for this revelation.
Charlotte, there's something you need to know. It's a truth that has been buried for far too long, and it's time you heard it. My late wife Eleanor, she desperately wanted a child. We tried everything, but nothing seemed to work. The longing in her eyes was unbearable. We made a clandestine arrangement, a medical procedure shrouded in secrecy. It was a time of desperation, and we were willing to do anything to have a child. Charlotte, you were a victim of a stolen womb. The procedure was unethical, and it was hidden from you. You were never meant to know.
The child, a girl, had been raised as Eleanor and Jade's own. They named her Amelia, and she grew up in a world of love and care, unaware of the dark secret that surrounded her birth. Her name was Amelia, and she had a twin brother, Thomas. The twins were inseparable, their bond unbreakable, a testament to the love they shared. Charlotte had given birth to twins, a truth hidden from her, stolen from her in the dead of night. The pain of that loss, the years of not knowing, weighed heavily on her heart. Now, standing in Jade's study, Charlotte felt a surge of determination. She would uncover the full truth, no matter the cost. The past had been hidden for too long, and it was time for the secrets to be revealed. She began to search through the old documents and letters, each piece of paper a potential clue to the mystery of her past. The journey ahead would be difficult, but Charlotte was ready to face it head-on. As she and Jade continued to talk, a sense of understanding began to form between them. The truth was painful, but it was also a path to healing. Together, they would navigate the complexities of their shared history. With each revelation, Charlotte felt a step closer to closure. The journey was far from over, but she was no longer alone. The shocking truth had been unveiled, and now it was time to move forward.
Section 6. A Mother's Heart Awakens. Rage, raw and consuming, coursed through me. I had renounced my medical career, sought solace in God, all for a sin I didn't commit. The life I could have had, the children I never knew existed, had been ripped away from me. Yet, as the initial shock subsided, a different emotion stirred within me. A mother's heart, dormant for so long, flickered to life. I had children, two beautiful children who had grown up without knowing their true mother. The urge to meet them, to hold them in my arms, was almost unbearable. But could I face them, knowing the truth of their conception? Could I forgive Jade Winconshire for his role in this elaborate deception? Could I forgive myself for the years lost, the years I could have spent with my children?